Alright, time for a ZAC game. Now I am against a Nocturne, which should be a pretty reasonable matchup for me. Definitely not too bad. He doesn't invade me, which is the ideal thing for ZAC specifically. This video is going to be focused around like what tanks can do to carry lower elo games. This is going to be a silver 1/gold 4-ish rated game. Like, these players are split between that. So yeah, for the last week, we're just going to see how you do it with tanks. Essentially what I did yesterday on Talon, I'll be doing today on ZAC. ZAC is just an example, but this will apply to pretty much all tanks. Now, again, you want to start topside, generally speaking. The reason you want to start topside is because you get away with more starting topside. If I would start like bot side and clear towards topside, if this wasn't a Nocturne, for example, and champ that would invade me, I would have a higher chance of getting invaded. There's a lower chance that the enemy actually invades. Interesting. Completely not aware of the situation. Alright, she is helping me at least a little bit. So yeah, starting topside is overall safer. Also, clearing towards the bot lane is better because the bot laners are just more susceptible to dying if they don't expect it. Like, they might push out. There might be a situation where I just get basically a free kill. Do this. With ZAC specifically, you just want to make sure that you pick up your blobs whilst your W is on cooldown. Not without the cooldown, because like, it's more efficient. You save cooldown basically by picking it up whilst it's on cooldown. Now for any tank, I would highly recommend you to just like either 5 camp and scuttle, or just full clear and scuttle. You want to make sure that your early game is solid. You don't want to be like level 3 and try to force a gank, because then if that gank fails, you'll instantly be behind, and that's just overall really bad for you. Because you don't want to be behind right out the gate. That's really bad. So no matter if a play fails or succeeds, like, just full clearing is better, because you're always going to get the consistent levels from it. That's what we'll be doing here. I'm assuming that the Nocturne is just clearing towards topside. So yeah, he just did his Raptors. So I won't be able, like, having to contest him on bot side scuttle, and I could just like chill and clear my camps. Now there is a more efficient way to do this with ZAC. Like, you can drag all the camps between each other, but I'm not gonna do that here. I'm just gonna do a normal chill full clear, like most of you probably would in this elo range, and we'll just play from there. Because technically with ZAC you could do like a setup that just gives you a 315 with like a bunch of camp pooling and stuff. But you could practice that on if you would like that on this champion. Gonna AoE this down. I don't have to use my smite. I will just hold my smite for the scuttle. There we go. Pretty slow clear, but most tank junglers will have a pretty slow full clear, so that's what I'm aiming for here, basically. I want to show you that that's, like, fine. So bot lane is kind of pushed into their side, which is a little bit of a problem for me. Didn't smite the scuttle after all. He has 25 CS, which means his Krugs are most likely up. I could joink that, but I see a mid lane play here, which is what I'm just going to go for. Just look for any type of gank opportunity. I missed that one. That's pretty bad. That actually mattered, because that would have killed her. Oops. Well, she did flash, so there's that at least, but it's not good. Definitely missed that play. I mean, I could just do this camp when it spawns. I'll have smite for this. Quickly do this. I don't think Nocturne's gonna be here in time for it. So I just yoink this camp and I could look towards ganking mid again. I should have killed her already, but... Snare her, please. Nice. He got him. Alright, good. That's solid. I made up for it by killing her afterwards, but I shouldn't have missed the first Q. That's just a mechanical error there. Yeah, clearing towards the bot side there, having the setup there for the play. Very solid. Ideally, if the bot lane is like more gankable, you'd want to gank bot lane there, but this is completely fine. I took his level 2 Raptor camp as well, so this is really good for me. What is this guy doing? He's just actually trying to pressure me down. I haven't based yet, so if I try on the 1v1 him, that could be a problem for me. There is no way she should die to that. I'm just gonna do this camp. I just want to make sure that I clear this, because there's no way she should die to a Nocturne gank in that situation. She actually almost... Does she just die to this Nocturne gank? There's no chance, right? Just hit the minion with this. Interesting. She got him, right? Oh my god, I needed to do that. I didn't want to take the kill. Generally, as a tank, you don't want to take the kill there if you can avoid it. But in that situation, I had no choice, because if I didn't take the kill, she would have died. She is really blind, though. Like, her map awareness, when it came to, like, the first, like where I wanted to start my camps, and then also this specifically, that Nocturne shouldn't have even had a chance at killing her, basically. He came close. So that's interesting. But I guess that's something that can happen in this elo range. It's all good. Gonna go for this. Built a Bami Cinder. I didn't finish clearing my my Krugs here, though. I had to cancel them. It's all good. I'm going for Bot Scuttle now because it just spawned and I do want to get that. Also, since I do have bot lane priority in this situation and also mid lane priority, I can try to play for a dragon here as well. So if you do have the priority in like bot mid, try to play and look for those dragons. It is worth more than your camps as a tank specifically, because just having that lead for your like overall game lead is better. You don't want to play super selfish as a tank, because it just won't get you anywhere, because you won't be able to skill solo damage wise. You know what I mean? So trying to play for objectives becomes way more important as a tank specifically. Just make like pinging and hoping that my team would react to this. Now ZAC specifically is pretty good at soloing dragons, but more tanks struggle generally more when it comes to dragons. But yeah, try to have this control over the objectives. It's pretty valuable as a tank to do that. Nocturne's already lost his mind, it seems. Interesting. Check his raptors here, to be honest. They're both toxic, I see. Raptors are down. Let's just use this plant to scout his jungle real quick. He is in fact here. I shouldn't be backing here actually, that's kind of grief. He has no mana. Twitch is very low on mana, which is what making me a little bit afraid to do this play. No, you're gonna pull this into vision. He just pulled that into vision, didn't he? I'm gonna have to go for Jenna. That's the one I hit. It's all good. I was able to make it happen there. ZAC has pretty nice gap close for a gank like that. That's gonna be mid, I think. Top lane, okay. It's top lane. Let's do it. Wait for the stun to hit and then I go in with my CC. Try it with tanks. Try to always CC chain stuff if you can. So if you do have the opportunity, like if you have to lead the CC chain, that's fine. But in this case, like I know that the bike can lead the CC chain in that situation. So you always want to try to follow up CC as much as possible. So right there, the bike goes in first, hits the CC, and then I wait for that CC. Then I land my CC, so they won't be able to flash or dodge it. Which is a very important thing to note in like team fights later on as well. As much CC chain as you can create is the CC chain you want, basically. You don't want to like try to overlap CC as much as possible. Try to avoid that at least. It's really a big role for a tank in a lot of plays, is just to make sure that you don't overlap CC as much as you can. Alright, that early mid gank basically settled mid lane completely, which is good. That's what you're looking for. And then the top counter gank helped a lot as well. Always as a tank, like specifically, it's very, very worth it to just stop doing your camp. Even if you're like almost done with it, stop doing your camp if you have to be at a play. Like right there, this like that early top lane play, for example, where that Jinx kind of just got completely caught out. That's the situation and an example of a play where I have to be at over doing my camp. Just rotate for it. And it worked out because I was there. So it's very important. I'm just gonna make sure I've full cleared through these camps now. Because even as a tank, you want to make sure that your camps are at least like cleared at a reasonably efficient pace. It doesn't have to be perfectly efficient, because you can like afford to be a little bit more lenient with it. You don't need to scale as well as like super efficient to be able to put out damage, right? But still, for like overall clears, it's very important to do this. So it appears that that bot lane gank that I did is now already snowballing. Like that one gank that I just gave them, just to double kill their bot lane basically, or at least kill the Jenna. I actually no double kill the bot lane. Helped them a lot. They're gonna snowball that. I also ganked and snowball mid snowballing now as well. So this is looking good. Okay. Actually got that one. I think that was from burn damage. Happens. Not something I could have avoided. He is probably going bot with his ult there. I would actually, that could be top lane. Yes, it is top lane. Ooh, wait a second. He can dive this if he wants. The only sad part here is that all the minions died. So I am not able to hit him with my abilities. Just do this. Get in melee range to get my red buff slow going there. That's fine. Get the shutdown to her. I might actually just be able to gank this again, because this Jace is going to be back. Oh, he's bot lane. Never mind. Alright. In this situation then I'm just going to go for his camps. That's fine. Yeah, bot lane is doing good. But yeah, basically I just set up my lanes from the early game, which is your job. Just set up your lanes. And then hopefully they snowball it. If they don't snowball it, that's okay. But yeah, that's really the role I play. Just set them up, play for the objectives as much as possible. So this dragon's gonna come up in 25 seconds. I want to rotate towards that again. And then try to get that as well for my team. Or if they could just do it, that would be perfectly fine as well. But this is like the playstyle you need to have. You need to just look for those ganks. If there is some downtime, if you have some time to clear, that's good. If all your camps are up, you want to make sure you at least clear like your camps here and there. Otherwise, just look for the pressure ganks, look for the objectives, which are very important. Like mostly dragons, Rift Heralds are okay, but not that required. But yeah. Get this, and then we'll build the healing reduction, I suppose. Alright, I'm gonna move towards Drake here. It looks like Twitch is probably going to be basing. I don't like how he's literally taxing every single bit of my camps. Because he took the Scuttle and he's also taking my Gromp. But as a tank, I'm just gonna have to live with that one. It's not as detrimental for me right now to lose my camps. If I was playing like a damage carry, it's way worse that they're actually taking your camps. But as a tank, it's just like, kind of whatever. You'll be a good frontliner anyway. That is probably top lane, yep, okay. You can use your F keys for that if you're against the Nocturne. I don't like using F keys in videos because kind of shit to watch. If you're not doing it yourself, it probably gives people a headache. At least does to me if I watch somebody else do it, so. Pressure for the mid turret here instead of going for my camps, go for the objectives. Take his camps. This is something you do as well, like, if you're ahead, take his camps. Very, very important. If you have the luxury to do it, always take the enemy's camps instead. Make sure you pressure and punish them as much as you can. That's just a one-shot. Nice. Looking solid. But yeah, I have one top, mid, and bot lane, basically, with those ganks. Won every single lane. They're all doing well by themselves now. They don't necessarily need me anymore. But just winning with those ganks is already good enough. I think we can make this play happen if the Pyke wants to do it. I don't know if this is actually warded or not. Oh, I just messed up big time. I didn't knock them together. That was a mistake on my end. This is good. Nice. Good CC lock with the Pyke there. Very solid stuff. You don't... Like, most tanks have a lot of base damage and are able to do quite a significant amount. Oh, he missed. I don't know. This seems very sketchy to me. Just leave. Give him an out. Nice. You want some stacks of that? It's okay. Really try to be mindful of your teammates. Like, the main importance with a tank is that you always try to, like, optimize your teammates, essentially. Which could be a little bit tricky when you're actually trying to climb. if you don't like have the most amazing teammates, it's gonna get a little difficult here and there. This gets much better the higher elo you go. So if you start to climb more, it gets a lot better for you. Wait, where? Okay. So that's why I generally don't recommend climbing with like full tanks or like tanks like ZAC, Sejuani, stuff like that. It's good when you're like D4 plus, it's fine. But below that, it gets sometimes a little bit tricky. But this is the best playstyle you can have. That objective control, trying to look for those ganks and set up your teammates, and that's it. So yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button below. Helps me quite a bit. If you'd like to see more videos from me in the future, hit the subscribe button as well. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.